the visiting Huskies. Number 1, Eric Harrington. Number 2, Zachary Zur. Number 3, Christopher Lahar. Number 4, Brad Herm. Number 5, Michael Spencer. Number 6, Aaron Smith. Number 7, Eric Godinez. Number 8, Aaron Tomlinson. Number 9, Max Werner. Number 10, Devin Simon. Number 11, Leon Boyd Clever. Number 13, Dylan Stank. Number 14, Michael Crawford. Number 15, Anthony Richards. Number 16, Chad Unosh. Number 17, Trevor Hicks. Number 18, Juan Torres. Number 19, Alexander Perez. Number 23, Travis Wolf. The Huskies are coached by Brian Becker. And now for your 2007 Big Red Boys soccer team. Number 1, Zach Glenn. Number 2, Evan Prout. Number 3, Cameron Hagedon. Number 4, Chris Taddy. Number 5, Todd Johnston. Number 6, Josh Ramos. Number 7, Frank Hudson. Number 9, Davon Hawkins. Number 10, Sam Seppo. Number 11, Ryan Kovac. Number 12, Dan Stroyan. Number 13, Ben Jones. Number 14, Richard Jock. Number 16, Tyler Moulton. Number 17, Matt Kaburski. Number 18, Eric Bowden. Number 19, Nico Ferludge. The Big Reds are coached by Dave Reno. For your attention, ladies and gentlemen. This week, the Port Huron Area School District lost 2 of our senior students. Kyle Sawyer, a student at Port Huron High School, and Dylan Ulmer, a student at Port Huron Northern. We ask that you stand and, gentlemen, remove your hats in a moment of silence to remember both Kyle and Dylan. Thank you. At this time, please remain standing as we pay honor to America with the singing of our national anthem by Mr. John Seppo. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. contest is Dave Heyman. Your officials for today's game are Wick Schmiegels, Chuck Holbrook, and Rand Haranthian. These officials are registered by the Michigan High School Athletic Association and, like the coaches, are hired by Port Huron High School to help the athletes learn on the playing field. These individuals have worked hard to learn the rules and apply them fairly. We request you respect their honest efforts in administrating this contest. Let's play Big Red Soccer!
Hello everyone and welcome to CPHS Channel 6 for this exciting crosstown soccer match between the Port Huron Northern Huskies and the host Port Huron High Big Reds. What an exciting game it's going to be. The Big Reds are coming in undefeated so far in this 2007 season. They're 5-0. Northern is coming in with 1 victory and 6 losses and suffering a couple of really tough losses, especially the one last night leading into this game where Warren Cousino scored a goal with 98 seconds remaining in the game to be victorious in that 2-1 contest. So it's going to be an emotional game between these two teams, but it should be also an exciting game. We got a beautiful night here behind Port Huron Northern High School, a good south wind going from our left to right, bright sunshine, just a perfect afternoon for high school soccer here on CPHS Channel 6. Officials for tonight's game, center referee is Harachian. Chuck Holbrook, Rick Swiggles are on the sidelines, assistant referees tonight. And we're just about ready to kick this thing off. And here we go with Northern controlling the play. Kicking the ball back to the defense where Dylan Stank picks it up. Down the right sideline, out of bounds, throw in Port Huron High. Chris Taddy heads it over, now regains control, kicks it back to his own defense. We have a whistle, a little bit of pushing here. Handball, I guess, is the call. And so Port Huron High gets a free kick. Matt Kaburski with the kick, kicks it deep into the Husky end, but knocked away by Mac Werner. Up to Devin Simon. Simon controlling the ball, kicks it up to Leon Boyd Cleaver, Husky freshman. Only freshman on the Husky team this year. Battle for it now comes into the middle where Simon again, he loses control and it goes over to Rich Jack, back to the defense. Now it's brought up over to the left side where Prout moves it up over to Frank Hudson. Hudson down the sideline, gets it up to Sam Seppel, the big score. He tangles it up there with Max Werner, and Port Huron High is going to get a free kick here just outside the 18-yard box. No score, just getting underway. Port Huron High, Port Huron Northern High School Soccer on CPHS 6. Chris Taddy with the free kick, he fakes it. Kick by Hudson. Up high, knocked down by the Husky defense. Now the Big Reds gain control. Here's a shot by Taddy. Brad Herm makes a diving save on the bouncing ball. Had trouble handling that one, but he gets it and punts it away up to midfield. Knocked down by the Husky midfielder. There's Mike Crawford. He's tripping on the play. The ball comes loose. Port Huron gains control. Here's Seppel with the shot. And the early 1-0 lead by Port Huron High Big Reds on the Husky defense miscue. So Sam Seppel, the scoring machine for the Big Reds, takes advantage of a Husky miscue to give the Big Reds a early 1-0 lead. And for Seppel, that's his 14th goal in this young season, averaging better than 2 goals a game so far this year.
Big Red goal scored by number 10, Sam Seppel. Time of the goal, 37 minutes, 43 seconds left in the first half.
That goal came in just 2 minutes, first 2 minutes and 13 seconds of the game. Here's Seppel again for the Big Reds. He turns to his left, heads Hudson breaking down the left sideline. being chased by Dylan Stank. Dylan comes up with a tip, cleared away by Brad Herm over to the right corner. Aaron Tomlinson kicks it down the right sideline, where it's headed there by Simon. Simon up to Zeller. A little miscommunication by the Huskies, who's going to chase it, and the Big Reds recover. Where it's Evan Prout knocking it up the sideline. And now the Big Reds maintain control. Taddy, the two-sport fall athlete for the Big Reds. And we have a down Husky, so we have a stoppage in play. Aaron Tomlinson is down, holding his stomach. Not sure what happened there. Maybe caught an elbow or something, an inadvertent elbow. So we do have a stoppage in play here as the training staff comes on over and takes a peek at Aaron Tomlinson. Huskies starting Brad Herm in goal tonight. They basically share the goalkeeping duties with between Brad Herm and Chad Bonnick, where the Big Reds have gone all the way with Miles Keller so far this season. Now they're looking at Aaron's right knee. Not quite sure what the prognosis is, but you can tell he's in a lot of pain as he lays there on the turf. What a beautiful night for soccer behind Port Huron Northern High School. Have you Port Huron High Big Reds, you Port Huron Northern Huskies 1-0 on the early lead. Tomlinson's getting up, going off under his own power, so that's a good sign, but that right leg looks awfully stiff. Great crowd on hand tonight to watch this crosstown rivalry. Last year, what a season between the two teams. It was a 1-0-1 record, one win for Port Huron High and a tie between the two teams. The tie was no score, and the win was 1-0, so it doesn't get any closer than that. So we'll have a little face-off here between Godinez and Hudson, and it's controlled right now by the Big Reds. Toddy over to Jock, knocked away by the Huskies midfielders. Headed up, and the Big Reds take over again. Hustling there is done with Simon, but the ball's cleared to the Husky side of midfield. Alex Port there battling for the Huskies, but the Big Reds gain control. Moving into Northern Territory, but there's Port to knock it away. Up to Godinez, back to Port. Little shovel pass up to Boyd around to the left sideline. He is able to save it, and the Big Reds recover. Here's a kip deep to the right corner, picked up by Sam Seppo. And Seppo's knocked away there by Max Werner. Ball goes out of bounds, so we have a throw-in for the Big Reds. Ball's controlled by Taddy. Taddy shoots over the net. And went off a Husky, so we have a corner kick for the Big Reds. And taking the corner kick for the Big Reds is Hagedon. See what kind of a play the Big Reds have on here. Hagedon looking into the sun. Here's the kick. It's a little short, but controlled by the Big Reds. Bouncing around. Brad Herm jumps up, grabs it, the keeper for the Huskies. And now he's going to run it out to the top of the 18-yard box, where he punts it but shanks it over to the right side. Zeller knocks it down for Northern, but the Big Reds control. Ball comes down, knocked out of bounds by Stank. Another throw-in for the Big Reds. Jock with the throw-in over to Hudson. Knocked out of bounds again by, the Big Reds this time. Rich Swiggle says so, and the Huskies gain control. Godinez battling there. Here's Arrington. Kicks it deep into the Big Red territory, into the box, but Keller comes out. Nobody's there to get it. Keller scoops it up, and he will punt it back down to the midfield stripe, over midfield. And it's knocked down there by the Aaron Smith, Husky midfielder. Knocked over to the near sideline, chased out of bounds, Big Red throw in. Hudson on throw-in, taken away by Harrington. Tries to split the defenders. Now he gains control. Gets it up to Simon. Simon over to Boyd along the left sidelines. Boyd hustling over there, goes out of bounds. And it's Husky throw-in. Again, the ball is knocked out of bounds by the Big Red defense. Huskies get another throw in. Here's Devin Simon to do the honors for Northern. Nope, they're calling it a push now, so we'll get a free kick for Northern. On the far side of the field, kind of hard to see way over there. Simons kicks it into the middle. Ball's bouncing around, free ball, knocked away by the Big Red defense, comes back into the box. Big Red defense again, still controlling it. Ball's bouncing all over. Here's Godinez, try to knock it down, but the Big Reds recover. Up to Sam Seppel. Seppel dribbles over toward the middle to his left. Punches it up to Chris Taddy. Taddy's speed. He punches it past Brad Herm over, just over the net. Just missed a great scoring opportunity for the Big Reds, Chris Taddy. But again, you saw the speed of the Big Reds, especially with Taddy. And you can see why he also plays running back for the Big Reds football team. So tomorrow night he'll be lacing him up, playing at Memorial Field. So we have a goal kick for Northern, kicking into the wind. Max Werner keeping it low. But the Big Reds control. Little punch kick again by Taddy to Hudson. Hudson gets around Eric Harrington. Harrington still battling, out of bounds. And they're calling a penalty on Harrington. So we got a penalty kick coming up. They're saying he pushed him from behind. And he's inside the 18-yard box, so we have a penalty kick coming up here for the Big Reds. Big Reds showing some speed here in the early going. And it looks like Sam Seppel is going to take the penalty kick. And here's the penalty kick, and he scores. So Seppel gets his second goal of the game. This one coming on a penalty kick. And the Big Reds are up 2-0. Substitution for the Huskies. Coming in tonight right now is one of the team captains for the evening. Number 17, Trevor Hicks, and Arrington goes off.
Big Red goal, his second of the night, number 10, Sam Seppel. Time of the goal, 32 minutes, 12 seconds left in the first half.
.748 in the first half is the time of the goal.
Current score, Husky 0, Big Reds 2.
We have a problem with the scoreboard here tonight. It's gone out. So need to depend on the PA announcer to help us out here. Huskies defense stiffens and kicks the ball back to midfield where the Big Reds recover. Prout moving up from his defensive position. Battles in, goes off of Hicks. Big Red throw in. Here's Seppel, has the ball stripped away by Stank. Comes out to the middle of the field. There's a shot by Kovac, stopped by Herm. And the ball's knocked out to the center field. We have a whistle. Ball's knocked down, and we got a free kick for Northern. Godinez taking the kick, waiting for his offense to get into position. Goes through two Husky players. Big Reds recover. And now they're pushing it back up into Northern territory. Here's Seppel. Serves it up, but it's knocked down by Werner. Ball's back out to midfield, knocked away by Prout. Over to Hudson. Back to Prout. Knocked down by Hicks. And then finally knocked out of bounds by the Big Reds for a Northern throw-in. Hicks gives it to Godinez on a throw-in, but knocked away by Taddy. Hudson up over to Seppel in midfield. Seppel uses his speed, tried to get around Aaron Smith. Still controlling it is Seppel. Soft serve into the box, but there's Smith recovering and controls it for Northern, and he knocks it back toward midfield. Kovac knocks it down, tries to serve it up to Taddy, but knocked away by Stank. And the Big Reds throw it in again. Here's Seppel. Has it knocked down. Pass intended for Hudson goes out of bounds, so the Huskies get a throw in. On the throw in comes up to Trevor Hicks, but it's stripped away by Kovac. Over to the middle, knocked down by Godinez, but Taddy continues to control. Using his footwork, now he takes a shot. Brad Herm is there on the slow roller. Herm punts it away up to midfield. Wind kind of holds it up a little bit as we have a wind blowing directly down the field from my right to my left. Facing the Husky defenders in the face. Big Reds control, kick it over to the far side, out of bounds. Northern throw in just inside the Big Red side of the field. Port trying to control it, knocked away by the Big Red defense out of bounds. So Cleaver throws it into Simon, back to Cleaver. Cleaver's also, not only is he the youngest player for the Huskies, he's also one of the smallest players out there, but you wouldn't know it by his play. Big Reds carry over midfield, taken away by the Huskies midfield. Here comes the ball in the center of the field. There's a battle for it with Zeller and Prout. Prout wins that battle, but here comes Simon intercepting the pass. Gets it over to Boyd. Into the corner, but taken away there by the Big Red defense. Knocked out of bounds and another Husky throw in. Battle for it along the sidelines. Now it's up to Sam Seppo. Seppo serves it down into Northern Territory, knocked down by Max Werner. Now the Huskies serve it over to the near sideline, out of bounds, throw in Big Reds. Played a little over 10 minutes here of the first half. We don't have a clock tonight, so the time is being kept on the field, so can't give you accurate times, but I know we've played more than 10 minutes already here in this first half with the Big Reds leading 2-0. Trevor Hicks battling it there with Rich Jock. Jock controls, gets it back to Hudson. He knocks it out of bounds, so we have a Northern throw in. Zeller steals the back pass to the defense. A little push off there on the Big Red, so Northern gets a free kick. Looks like a little push off by Evan Prout. Saw the arm come out, and official's gonna call it most of the time. And here's Mac Werner along the near sideline on the free kick for Northern. Waiting for his team to set up. Here's the kick into the middle, inside the box, bouncing around. Boyd Cleaver shoots it just wide. So that'll be a goal kick for the Big Reds. First real scoring opportunity for the Huskies in this game. And unofficially right now, I have the Big Reds out shooting Northern 5-0. Or at least shots on net, I should say, 5-0. Two of them tallying for the Big Reds. So it's 2-0 early in this crosstown rivalry. Port knocks it down, gets it. Gets up to the Big Red defense. Cleaver takes over to Godinez. He kicks and misses. And here comes Keller. Stopping the slow roller. Not quite sure that had enough mustard to even get to the net. Godinez had a great shot, just couldn't get his footing right. Coming out, here's Herm grabbing the bouncing ball, slows it down. And here's his punt. Bounces along the sideline, out of bounds, Big Reds throw in. Hudson controls. Watched by Stank. Picked up by Werner, and he kicks it out of bounds, so we get another throw in, Big Reds. Here's Sam Semple, takes it into the box. Being watched by Werner. Over to Kovac. Nice play by the Northern defense. Aaron Smith knocking it out of there. Northern controls. Godinez serves it up along the right sideline into the middle. To Zeller. Zeller's battling with the defense. But Northern controls. Simon over to Boyd. Cleaver. Hustling down is Porritt. He skids. And the defense tries to clear, but it goes off a Husky, and we have a throw-in by the Big Reds. Big Reds control. Seppel turns. There's Taddy in the middle, but tries to split two Northern defenders. Couldn't. Stank controls, gets it back to midfield, only to have it knocked back into his own end by the Big Red midfielders. Simon turns. Here's a break for Trevor Hicks. He comes down, one man to beat. Trevor shoots, saved by Keller. So Northern registers their first shot on net tonight. Here comes the bouncing ball, picked up by Taddy. He shoots left-footed, way wide right. Brad Herm chases, and we'll have a goal kick for Port Huron Northern. Got a substitution coming in for the Big Reds, number 12, Dan Stroyan coming in. Sophomore midfielder, taking his spot.
Substitutions coming at 23-21 left in the first half. Number 5, Michael Spencer, and number 12, Dan Stroyan.
Michael Spencer coming in also for the Huskies. Big Reds control from the goal kick, knocked away by a Northern midfield. Here's Zeller waiting for it, trying to avoid being offsides, but Rick Swiggle says no, offsides Northern. So the Big Reds with the free kick. Ball gets past the Northern defense, chased down by Dylan Stank. Knocked down by Hudson. He stops it at the end line. In the corner, Hudson serves it back. Picked up by Ryan Kovac, up to Taddy. Taddy makes a move. Pushed there by Godinez, no call. And Godinez gets the ball back. Godinez is tripped up there by Kovac, it looks like. Northern gets a free kick. Here's Warner's kick, headed past the Big Red defense, but hustling back is Josh Ramos. And he tries to slide it past the Husky defender, and it goes out of bounds for a Port Huron High throw-in. Seppel along the far sideline, stops the ball, turns, left foots it to the middle, stopped by Stank. Up to Simon, but the Big Reds control. Now here's Taddy, coming over to the middle, left foots it over to Hudson, but it's headed away by Stank. Hudson comes out, he left foots it across the goal, out of bounds, and so we have a Northern goal kick. Couple of substitutions in for the Huskies. We have number 15, Tony Richards, and also number 6, Aaron Smith, coming in for Northern.
Checking in for the Huskies with 20 minutes, 50 seconds left, number 15, Anthony.
We're about halfway mark of the first half, 2-0, Port Huron High over the Huskies. Or another soccer etiquette, should be 2-0. Here's Cleaver, gets it up over midfield. Now it's controlled by Simon, taken away by the Big Red midfield. Simon now has it. Over to Godinez. Godinez serves it up over to Trevor Hicks on the right sideline. Trevor Hicks is battling there with Hudson. Hudson knocks him down, no call. And the ball goes out of bounds. We got a corner kick for Northern. So Harachian, the referee tonight's letting them play. And we're at the halfway mark of the first half. Port Huron High up 2-0. Taking the goal kick for Northern is Godinez. Serves it up into the middle. Couple of headers and it bounced to the right sideline where it's knocked away by the Big Red midfield. And out of bounds, Northern throw in. Prior to this game, it was the Northern JV squad victorious over the Big Reds, 2-0. And a pretty closely played match. 2-0 is our score here on the varsity side. Here's a Devin Simon kick. Fades to the right. Keller picks it up, brings it back to the top of the box for another punt. And you can tell the wind's playing a little, some impact on the ball as the Keller's kick comes way over the midfield mark, and Brad Herm's been having trouble facing that wind. See what happens when the two sides switches sides at the end of the half. Big Reds control in the near corner. Seppel battling against Boyd. Seppel with an elbow, no call. Here's the call now as Seppel elbowed Boyd down, and we're going to have a free kick for Northern. Now that's an interesting matchup. One of the bigger kids for Big Reds battling the smallest guy in the field for the Huskies. So Boyd won that one. So 1-0 for Leon Boyd Cleaver. And here Max's free kick kept in by Cleaver. Michael Crawford serves it up to Smith. Smith leaves it there for Port. Back to Smith. Goes off his leg, and the Big Reds control. Shoot it back to center field, where it's picked up by Simon. Simon to Mike Spencer. Inside the 18-yard box, being chased there by the Big Red defense, but knocked away by Kuberski. So he's battling with Smith. Goes off a Northern leg, out of bounds, throw in for the Big Reds. Off the throw in, it goes off of Max Werner, so the Big Reds just marching down the field with these throw-ins. Werner left foots it, where it's headed at midfield by the Big Reds. Now the ball's bouncing around. Being chased by Simon. Gets it up to Cleaver. Cleaver makes a nice move to get past Hudson. Back to Simon. Simon left foots it up over to the far side. Aaron Smith giving chase for Northern. Serves it across, blocked by the Big Red defense, where it's knocked away by Kuberski, but we have a Northern throw-in. And here comes some substitutions.
Checking in for the Huskies.
In for the Huskies is Eric Harrington and Travis Wolf.
Eric Harrington and number 23, Travis
And
Wolf.
coming in for the Big Reds is Devon Hawkins.
Devon Hawkins.
But it's a Northern throw-in deep into the Big Red territory. Lost there by Mike Crawford. Hawkins gets it. Up to Seppo. Seppo being watched by Wolf. He spins. Gives it off to Kovac. Kovac knocks it into Northern territory where it's knocked down by Crawford. Serves it up to Simon. Back to Stank, and he sends it deep. Headed by Smith. But controlled by the Big Reds. Now Smith gains control. And he leaves it there by Wolf. Goes out of bounds off a Big Red. So it's a Northern throw-in. Crawford serves it deep. Knocked down at the top of the box by the Big Red defense. Back out to Crawford. Kovac taking it. Kicked away by Godinez. Here's a foot chase. Kovac and Godinez collide, make that Hudson and Godinez. And on the trip, the Big Reds get a free kick. Here's Taddy, sends it deep, knocked down by Stank, up to Harrington. Harrington being watched by two Big Red defenders. Over to Stank along the sideline. He serves it back into Big Red territory. Knocked down by Prout. And now controlled by Stroyan. Stroyan up to Seppo. Seppo brings it back. Stroyan up to Kovac. Kovac to Toddy. He's walking in. And it looked like Hawkins was coming in. He did not touch it. I think he may have been offside, but the ball went out of bounds, so we have a goal kick for Northern anyway. But the Big Reds doing some fancy passing deep in the Husky territory. Making his first appearance in the game tonight is Zach Glenn for the Big Reds. Zeller returning to the game for Northern, as is number 19, Alex Porritt.
For the Huskies, Zachary Zur, and number 18, Juan Torres. For the Big Reds, number 1, Zach Glenn, and number 14, Richard Jacques. The current score is Huskies 0.
Ball's knocked down by Harrington. He's tripped there by Hudson. Harrington gets the call. Northern gets a free kick. Here's a free kick by Werner. Kicks it deep into the corner. Knocked away by Prout. Harrington knocks it away from the Big Red defender. Tries to serve it into the middle, but it was knocked away by the Big Red defense. Kaburski brings the ball up over to Hudson on the near sideline. Hudson being chased by Godinez. Hudson serves it up to Glenn. He stops, brings it back to the middle to Seppo. Seppo dribbling around, tries to get it up to Hawkins. Hawkins gets past the keeper. The ball goes out of bounds, saying it's going to be a goal kick for Northern. Another substitution for the Huskies right now. Trevor Hicks coming back in. Substituting for Harrington. Nope, check that. Harrington just moving over to the left forward position. So it looks like Aaron Smith was coming out for the Huskies. Big Reds control. Send it deep in the Northern territory. Crawford heads it up to Harrington along the left sideline. Harrington still continuing, battling there. And it goes out of bounds off of Big Red, so it's a Northern throw-in. Good strategy if you can keep that ball moving along the sideline with the throw-ins. You can just march it right down the field. Another substitution for the Huskies as number 15, Tony Richards, comes in for Dylan Stank. Off the throw-in, Harrington kicks it over to the center of the field, but it's headed out of there by Hudson. Crawford knocks it down. Devin Simon loses control. Glenn picks it up. Now it's Hudson. Battle forward right at the center circle. Big Reds control as Jock sends it back to the defense, but it's intercepted by the Huskies, by Porritt. Now the Big Reds gain control again as Kaburski sends it up to Hudson along the near sideline. He gets it past one defender to Glenn. Glenn one-on-one with Werner. And Harrington's coming back to knock it away, back up the midfield where it's knocked down by Prout. He serves it up to the middle of the field where Simon knocks it down and got a handball. Big Reds kick. Seppo teeing it up for Hudson. Tug on the socks, and here we go. Northern forming a wall, has to be 10 yards away. Here's Hudson's kick. Low, and is blocked by the Northern wall. Comes back to Gaburski. He chips it up. It's outside the 18-yard box for a foot race by Hudson. Hudson has it knocked down by Brad Herm. Good play by the keeper as two Big Reds were crashing the net. Herm's punt goes to Godinez. Godinez serves it up to Zeller. Zeller is knocked down from behind by the Big Red defender, Josh Ramos, and so the Huskies get a free kick. 10 minutes remaining here in the first half. 2-0, Big Reds lead it. Getting two early goals by Sam Seppo. Max Werner on the kick. He serves it into the box, knocked down at the top of the box by the Big Red defense. Ball comes back out. Werner now left foots it. There's a punch kick. Headed there by Gaberski, but controlled by the Huskies, Mike Crawford. He serves it up to Eric Harrington. He left foots it toward the to the goal. Knocked down by Zeller, but back outside of the box. And a Husky was knocked down by the Big Reds, and so we get a free kick here. Eric Godinez with the free kick just outside the 18-yard box. The Big Reds with their little wall. Godinez shoots over the net. So we have a Big Red goal kick. Another good scoring opportunity there for the Huskies, but they're unable to capitalize. Both teams not playing with a whole lot of energy today. They both played last night. Huskies losing a heartbreaker to Warren Cousino, as Cousino scored a goal with about a minute and a half left in the game. Big Reds defeated East Detroit 6-2. So two teams going in opposite directions right now, and the Big Reds are leading the Huskies. Richards knocks the ball back into the Big Red territory. Prout tries to serve it up, now knocked down by Hicks. Hudson trying to dribble past Godinez. And it's knocked away there by Spencer. Ball goes down into the near corner. Big Red's defense picks it up. Prout knocked away by Godinez. Crawford. Crawford tried to serve it to Hicks. A little too far out of bounds. We have a goal or a throw in for the Big Reds. Chris Teddy, Todd Johnson coming in for Port Huron High. Aaron Smith returning to the game for Northern.
Substitutions at 7.
As is Chris Lahar. It's good to see Chris Lahar back. His first action since the first week of the season. He's been out with mononucleosis, so it's good to see him coming back. And we have a push or a trip by Northern. So the Big Reds get a free kick just outside the 18-yard box. Off the free kick, Aaron Smith right at the center of the field. Knocks it down, but taken away by Chris Taddy. Scrum forward, Harrington kicks it down. Picked up by Smith. Smith trying to get around the defense. He gets into the 18-yard box. But the defense quickly collapses. We get a goal kick for Northern. Devin Simon coming over to do the goal kick. Northern quickly setting up. Time's winding down here in the first half. Under 10 minutes to go. Simon's kick, curves it in. Knocked down by Mike Crawford. And finally knocked out of bounds by Cameron Hodgedon. So Northern gets another free kick, or another goal kick, or corner kick. Yeah, we'll get it right yet. Another corner kick for the Huskies. Simon's kick is low, bounces in front of the net. Here's Zeller, tries a bicycle kick. No good. Harrington picks it up, still inside the box. He serves it behind the net. He tried to turn around, just couldn't get all the way around to serve it in front of the net. So that makes it a goal kick for the Big Reds. Just under 6 minutes left in the first half. 2-0 Big Reds. But the Huskies have been pressuring here in the waning moments of the half. Off the goal kick. 1, 2, 3. 3 headers in the Huskies' control. Here's Mike Crawford battling there with Ramos. Now it's picked up by Simon. He stops and turns, or make that pour it. Back over to Crawford. Crawford to Lahar. Trevor Hicks. He shoots over to the middle in front of the net. Crawford tries to one-time it like they do in hockey, and misfired, goes out of bounds. Another goal kick for the Big Reds. It's all about timing on those kind of plays, and if you don't have your feet just right, that's what happens. It goes out of bounds. It's one thing about soccer. You have to be light on your feet. And you're always twisting, turning, going different directions all the time. Probably more so in just about any other sport except for maybe hockey. And I think that's why soccer players or hockey players, especially like the Red Wings, if you go down underneath the stands before a game, you'll see, especially the European players, what are they doing? They're playing, knocking a soccer ball around, just trying to get loose and keeping that eye-foot coordination going. I don't know if the American hockey players have picked up on that or not.
With 4 minutes, 26 seconds left in the first half.
4.5 left in the first half.
Number 13, Dylan Stink. Number 16, Chad Benoff. And for the Big Reds, number 11, Ryan Kovac.
Bonnick and Stank coming in for the Huskies. Kovac returning to the field for the Big Reds. A lot of bouncing around. Stank hits it back over to Big Red territory. Crawford sends it a little deeper, but it's picked up by the Big Red defense. Ball goes off of Hagedon, so we get a Northern throw-in. Hagedon battling with Harrington there, goes off Hagedon again. So Northern continues. Throw downfield by Harrington, picked up by Zeller. He twists and turns, kicked in the middle of the field, but the Big Red defense was there. Here's Taddy. Giving chase with Simon. Taddy with the crossover. Knocked away by the Northern defense, but knocking it down there is Rich Jack. Jack, nice soft touch to split the Northern defense, and Herm comes up with the shot. Battling forward in the middle of the field. Glenn kicks it over to the right side. Chasing it down there is Hagedon. He shoots in front of the net. Herm scoops it up. Brings it to the top of the box to punt it away. Headed there by Prout. Now it's bounced around. Hudson settles it down finally. Leaves it for Kovac. Good defensive play there by Smith. Smith gets it ahead to Mike Crawford. Crawford heads it up deep into the Big Red territory where it's chased by Chad Bonnick, who normally plays goal for the Huskies, and it's knocked away by the Big Red defense. So we're going to have a throw-in deep into Big Red territory by Northern over on the far sideline. And they're calling an improper throw-in by the Huskies, so the Big Reds get it. Mike Spencer knocks it down. Goes out of bounds. Northern throw-in as the ball goes over the fence, out of bounds. One nice thing about high school soccer, usually the JV teams will have a ball boy on both sides. Now we have a stoppage in play as both balls have now gone over to the over the fence. So while they're being chased, referee Harachian decides let's call a timeout while the ball comes all the way over from the far sideline. 3 balls are usually in play during a soccer game. 1 game ball in play and the 2 on the sidelines. Harrington with the throw in. Gets it to Simon. He loses it there and the Big Reds control. Knocked back by the Huskies. Harrington in the middle. Tries to get it over to Hicks, but the Big Reds intercept. Stank to Hicks. Hicks controls. Being watched closely by Ramos. Now Taddy comes in. I'll check that. That was Johnston watching Hicks. It goes off Hicks out of bounds. Throw in Big Reds.
1 minute left in the first half.
We're down to the last minute of the first half. 2-0 Big Reds. Leading the Huskies. Harrington knocks it down. Called for a trip against Hagedon. So the Big Reds get a free kick right at midfield. Hagedon's kick is deep. Taddy's chasing it down in the near corner. Being watched there by Werner. Werner controls, sends it back out to midfield. Now taking over for the Huskies is Bonnick. Bonnick dribbling along the left sideline, tries to center it. He does, over to Simon. But the Big Reds control. Simon giving chase with Prout. Prout heads it back to his defense, where Johnston kicks it deep into Northern Territory. Brad Herm picks it up, and that will be the final play of the half. A good first half between the Port Huron Northern Huskies and the Port Huron High Big Reds, with your Big Reds leading by a score of 2-0. We'll be back with second half action right after this. Getting set to start the second half between the Port Huron Northern Huskies and the Port Huron High Big Reds. Big Reds lead this crosstown rivalry 2-0. 2 goals by Sam Seppel early in the first half. It's all the scoring we've had so far tonight. Seppel serves it up. And the Northern keeper comes out. Chad Bonnick tried to knock it away, but to no avail. As the Big Reds strike early here in the first half, Frank Hudson with the goal. Another miscue by the Huskies leads to another Port Huron High Big Red goal. 3-0 now for the Big Reds.
Big Red goal scored by number 7, Frank Hudson. Time of the goal, 39:36 left in the second half.
24 seconds into the second half, Frank Hudson puts the Big Reds up 3-0. Big hole for the Huskies. Let's see if they can dig deep and see what they can do. Alex Poor chasing down in the far corner, or near corner, knocked out of bounds by Eric Bowden. So we get a Northern throw in. Throw in goes to Crawford, tries to split the defense. He still controls. Slide tackle there by Kaburski. Still battling with Crawford. Ball goes out of bounds. And we've got a Northern corner kick. Not an easy call there for the referee, Hrant Harachian. Both players are kicking away, but he gives it to the Huskies for a corner kick. Eric Godinez comes over to make the kick. And we'll see what happens. Here's the kick. Comes all the way across the front of the net. Knocked down by the Big Red defense. And they send it out of harm's way. Where Trevor Hicks battles with Hudson. Hudson wins that battle as Hicks knocked the ball out of bounds. So we have a throw-in for the Big Reds. Ball served up right into the middle. Taddy, a little chip pass. And Bonnick is out to grab it. Settle it down, and here's the left-footed boot. Big Reds control, get it into Northern Territory. Taddy serves it up, too far. Bonnick's out. Takes it away from Hudson, and he punts it back down into Big Red territory. Port chasing it. Knocked down by Kaburski. Now it's knocked away by Godinez. Godinez kicks it into the box. Picked up by Keller. And he boots it back to midfield. Here's Hegedin, but he loses it as the ball comes all the way back to midfield. Seppel being watched by Simon. 10 on 10. Now it comes over to the middle. Kovac leaves it there for Prout. He goes down. Picked up by Jack. Leaves it for Hudson, chasing in the corner there with Stank. Ball goes out of bounds, and we have a corner kick for the Big Reds, I believe. Either that or a throw, and I'm not quite sure where they are. Nope. Looks like they're calling a trip on Stank. So the Big Reds get a free kick just outside the box. Taddy with the kick, chip shot. Nice save by Bonnick. He just punches it away. Now we have a Big Red corner kick over on the near side of the field. But that was a good save by Bonnick. He didn't need to catch it, just knock it away, and that's exactly what he did. Here's the corner kick by the Big Reds. Bonnick with his height comes out again and punches the ball outside the box. And shot back in. Bonnick smothers that one. And he's going to punt it away. Bonnick to Simon. Simon knocks it over to Crawford. Back to Simon. Try to get it back to Crawford. Led him a little bit too far where it's taken now by Stroyan. Stroyan leaves it over to the left side for Hudson. Being chased by Stank. Simon comes back, or Crawford comes back, gets the ball up to Godinez. Tried to serve it up to Crawford, but the Big Red defense a little quicker. They shoot it back into Northern Territory. And there's a nice shot there. Nice work by Hagedon for another Big Red shot on net. Bonnick there to get it, and he boots it away. Knocked down by Prout right at midfield. Rich Jack with it. Leaves it for Seppo. Seppo back to Jack just behind him. And then knocked away by Mike Spencer. Picking up is Aaron Smith. Leaves it for Crawford. Crawford tried to serve it up to Simon, but intercepted by Seppo. There's Taddy, knocks down Dylan Stank as he tries to get the ball, and so it's a foul on the Big Reds. I think Taddy forgot which football he was playing on that one. Star running back for the Big Reds. He'll be suiting that up tomorrow night with the pads, but for right now he's playing soccer. Werner serves it, goes deep into the Big Red territory, but knocked down by Guberski. Gets it back to midfield. Chip pass to Seppo. Seppo, 3-on-2, gets past Werner. Seppo into the box, out to block it is Bonnick, and making the save is Dylan Stank on a great play for the defenseman coming back for the Huskies. Bonnick tried to take away the angle. Seppo got around him, got a shot, but Stank was there to knock it away for Northern. Great play by the Northern defenseman. Off the corner kick. Ball bounces around, goes out of bounds. It's going to be a goal kick. We have a substitution for the Huskies as Eric Harrington returns to the game. And he's coming in replacing Trevor Hicks. Play at midfield. It's a foul called against the Huskies. Big Reds take it, quickly move it. Here's Seppo, he spins. Now the Big Reds control. Here it's Hudson. Battling with Stank. Stank clears it. Throw in Port Huron High. It's a defensive strategy there. If you can't control it, just kick it out of bounds and make them start all over. Werner to Stank. Stank tried to clear it, still in the box. Kept in by Stroyan, but now the Northern defense clears it. Gets it back to midfield. Here's Bowden. Up to Kovac. He serves it down into deep into the corner, but out of bounds, and the Huskies have a throw in. So Mike Spencer picks it up, takes a look, goes down the sideline to Cleaver, over to Simon. Simon gets it, kicks it over to the middle of the field. Picked up by Crawford. He sends it deep, only to be knocked down by Prout. Crawford gets it back. He kicks it up to the Big Red defense. Huskies are pressing, but the Big Red defense is there as Gaberski knocks it away back to midfield. To Hagedan. Hagedan sends it down deep. Here comes Seppo. Sepper's knocked off the play by Werner after the kick, but we got a goal kick as it goes out of bounds. Seppo showing some speed. But the Husky defense was up to the task on that particular play. Off the goal kick, Big Red's control, bringing the ball back deep into Northern Territory. Harrington knocks it away, turns in front of Taddy, serves her down across midfield, but the Big Red's defense is there to intercept. There's a scrum for it. Now it's Zeller. Harrington comes away with it, spins, got a whistle, and Zeller's knocked down, and so it's a foul of the Big Reds, and Northern takes over with the free kick right there. Max Werner on the free kick. Knocked down by Cleaver. He tries to spin kick. Knocked away. Seppo now picks it up in the middle of the field. Leaves it for Hudson. Hudson now over midfield. Intercepted by Stank. He's knocked down by Seppo, no call. Stank slow to get up. And over to Hagedan. Hagedan's battling there with Cleaver. Hagedan now controls, sets it up with his left foot. Knocked away by Bonick. Oh, Teddy had a rebound, an open rebound, open net, and he kicks it wide. Hagedan now. Ball bounces around in the middle of the field in front of the Husky goal. Now it's knocked away by Godinez. He sends it deep. Giving chase is Alex Porritt. But it's Kulberski who knocks it back into Husky territory for the Big Reds. Here's Werner with the deep kick again. Bowden chasing it with Porritt, but sliding out is Keller to smother that ball, and he'll punt it away. Boyd knocks it down, gives it to Simon, back to Boyd. Boyd along the left side, he sends it back toward the middle to Porritt. Zeller can't get control, and Keller picks it up. Godinez heads it back down. There's Crawford, couldn't quite get to it. The Big Red defense knocks it out of bounds. We have a host of substitutions for the Huskies. Brad Herm,
number 6,
Aaron Smith, and Tony Richards are all coming in for the Huskies.
Number 9, Devon Hawkins.
And Devon Hawkins in for the Big Reds. So it's a throw in for Northern. And balls bounce around. Harrington kicks it deep. Out of bounds off of Harrington. Another substitution for the Big Reds.
Substitution for the Big Reds. Number
and
15, Tyler Mosley.
We're under 30 minutes left in the game. 3-0 Big Reds. Tyler Moulton coming in for the Big Reds. First time he's been in the game tonight. Big Reds control and send it back to the center field line. Seppel sets it down. And there's Hawkins. Hawkins gets around one defender. Bonnet comes out to knock it away. And then Max Werner cleans up and sends it back to midfield. Foul on the Huskies. Kind of a late whistle here, but Big Reds get a free kick nonetheless. Big Reds send it deep. There's Hawkins, just over his head. Picked up by Bonick, and he'll punt it back downfield for Northern. Kaburski heads it up to midfield. Hudson controls for the Big Reds. Sends it over to Seppo. Seppo leaves it into the far corner for Taddy. Knocked down by Werner. Out of bounds, free throw in for the Big Reds. They quickly get the ball. Taddy's still working there with Northern. Ball comes all the way across in front of the goal, but no one there for Port Huron High. Jock dribbling around, left foot. Nice save by Bonick. I actually think that was going wide. But we have a corner kick for the Big Reds. Port Huron High showing a little more energy here in the second half. Northern back on their heels. Jock tried to kick it, knocked down by the Husky defense. Sent out to center field. Report leaves it for Crawford. Port now takes it, sends it across the field. Here comes Harrington hustling down the right sideline. He gets past one defender, two Huskies, three Huskies. Waiting to get onside. Port tries to get it. There's the Crawford. Mike Crawford shoots. He scores. Goal for the Huskies. Mike Crawford, his third goal of the season, and the Huskies are on the board. So that makes it 3-1, Port Huron High. Good job by the Huskies all the way in. Good hustle to get that ball in, and the Huskies just never relented. And they got it by Keller. That's only the fourth goal Keller has let up this season. But the Huskies are on the board.
Husky goal scored by number 14, Michael Crawford.
Good second effort by Crawford.
24 minutes, 57 seconds left in the game.
So we got about 25 minutes left in that game. Northern coming down again. Taddy knocks it down in midfield, but for the Huskies, Michael Spencer controls, sends it over to Harrington in the far corner. He turns along the sidelines, battle knocked down there. No call as Prout comes up with it. Max Werner knocks it down. Seppo controls. Gets past two Husky defenders. There's Bonick. Bonick knocks it away. Seppo still controls, but knocks it wide. Now that was an interesting chain of event. Didn't seem like anyone on the Huskies wanted to stop Seppo.
Substitutions with 23:50 left in the game. Number 17 for the Huskies, Trevor Hicks, and number 23 for the Huskies, Travis Wolf.
Hicks and Wolf coming in for the Huskies.
Number 6, Josh Ramos.
And it coming in, and Ramos coming back in for the Big Reds. Great crowd here tonight watching a good high school soccer match. Here behind Port Huron Northern High School. Crawford knocks it down, but it goes out of bounds. Throw in Port Huron High. Here's a throw in, goes out of bounds. Throw in for the Huskies, but another round of substitutions.
Huskies with 23 minutes left.
Zach Zeller.
Number 2, Zachary Zaire, and number 13, Dylan Stank.
And Dylan Stank returning to the game.
52 left in the half. The score is Huskies 1, your Big Reds 3.
Ball's in the middle of the field. As Richards serves it back to Spencer. Spencer sends it over to the middle of the field, but headed away by the Big Red defense. Wolf giving chase. Trevor Hicks turns, gets it up to Zeller. Zeller knocked out of bounds by the Big Red, so it's going to be a Northern throw-in. Godina's battling there with the defense. No call there on that knockdown. Godina's left foots it, turns, blocked by the defense. Prout kicks it out of the box. Here's Taddy. Gets it up to Seppel. Seppel stops. Boy, he can stop quick. Leaves it over on the far side. Now it's Taddy. He stops it, turns, looks, serves it toward the middle. Has the trailer, but knocked away by the Northern defense. Godinez knocks it down in the middle of the field. Serves it up to Trevor Hicks, but Prout's there. Now Hicks knocks it downfield. There's Zeller. Tries to send it over to Porritt, but trailing is Richards. Can't control it as Hawkins knocks it down.
Ladies and gentlemen, the clock is now working. Unfortunately, it's still an unofficial time. Remember, the official time is still on the field.
We finally got the scoreboard working. There's a Port Huron foul. Godinez is down, slowly getting up, but the Huskies will get a free kick. That makes it easy now. We got 20:50 left in the game. 3-1, Port Huron High over the Huskies. Big Reds with the ball. Ball gets through all the way to Keller. He makes the save and punts it out of there. Big Reds control, get it deep into Northern territory. Ball's knocked away by Stank. Clears it out of the box, up to Hicks. Hicks spins, serves it up along the sideline to Mike Crawford, but picking it up there for the Big Reds is Moulton. Out of bounds, and we have a substitution.
Number 10,
Devin Simon coming back in for the Huskies, and Frolic in for the Big Reds. Northern control, here's Simon. Little push from behind by Taddy and no call. Taddy turns around with the ball. He serves it up, knocked away by Stank on a sliding tackle. So it's going to be Port Huron High throwing.
And number 6, Aaron Smith.
Smith and Harrington back in for the Huskies.
Number 1, Zach Glenn, and number 11, Brian Kovac.
Glenn and Kovac coming back in for the Big Reds as they're getting ready for a corner kick. Just under 17 minutes left in the game. Here's the corner kick, knocked away by the Husky defense. Harrington kicks it, gets it over midfield. Knocked down by the Big Red defense and out of bounds, so we have a Northern throw-in. Harrington throwing it in, gets it back, kicks it over to the middle of the field. The Big Red defense is there. Ball's bouncing around. Richard sends it down the left sideline out of bounds. It's going to be a throw in. Josh Ramos here for the Big Reds. Throws it back to his defense. To Guberski. Now Ramos fires it into Northern territory where Stank knocks it out of bounds. Another throw in for Port Huron High just on their side of the center stripe. Mike Spencer stretches, knocks it down. Aaron Smith takes it away. Dribbles around one, gets it to Godinez. He serves it up into the middle. Trailing the play is Harrington. He tried to knock it past Prout, but Prout was there. Big Reds control. Richards giving chase with Hawkins. Hawkins centers it. Knocked away by Stank. And picked up by Bonnick. And Bonnick left foots it all the way down into Big Red territory, where Prout gathers it up, goes out of bounds off of him. More substitutions for the Huskies. Coach Brian Becker trying to keep the legs fresh. Herman Cleaver coming back in for Northern. Brad Herm leaves it for Godinez. Godinez serves it up to Cleaver. Cleaver left foots it high in the air. Battling there with Hawkins. And they're giving it to be a goal kick. Kuberski with the goal kick. Ball bouncing around. Now it's knocked down by Godinez. He sends it up to the left corner, where Boyd knocks it out of bounds in the battle, and it goes off. Yep, I thought so. Players thought it went off from Ramos, but it actually went off Cleaver. So he turns it up to the Big Reds.
After you stand behind the white dotted line, if you're standing 4 feet from the sideline, you're too close to the field.
Harrington over on the far side turns, stops, gives it back to Smith. Smith gets it to the center over to Herm, back to Smith. Gets past the defender, serves it up into the box. Keller stops it before it goes over to the line. Now he picks it up and brings it out to the top of the box. Little scoop pass over to his defense. Say dribble up. Pressure by Harrington. Godinez now steals. Godinez still with it. Slides it over. Gives it to Harrington. He fires it. And Porran's not chasing it down as it's knocked away by Keller. And Hawkins sends it out of bounds, and it's going to be a Northern ball, a Northern throw-in. Referee, center referee overrules the side judge. Big Reds get the throw in. Seppel knocks his man down. And there's a battle for it between Godinez and Ryan Kovac. Got a stoppage in play, and we're going to have a little discussion between the two players and the referee. Godinez on the retaliation after Kovac elbowed him down, and Godinez is getting the yellow card. And that's often what happens. It's the retaliation that gets it. Godinez did not like the play by Kovac as he knocked him down after he was already on the ground once. Come back, gives him a little punch, and he gets the yellow card. So Godinez will sit down for 10 minutes to serve his penalty. Just over 14 minutes remaining in the game, 3-1, Port Huron High. Officials getting the teams calmed down here. So Port Huron High will get a free kick just on their side of the center field. Harachian signals the play. Here's the kick deep into Northern Territory. Knocked away by the defense, and we're going to have a corner kick for the Big Reds. Some miscommunication there between the keeper, the Northern defense. Almost cost him a goal, but Port Huron High gets a corner kick. Kick comes into the middle, knocked away by the Northern defense. Frolic sends it back in, but it's picked up by Bonick. And he left foots it to midfield. Ramos battling with Cleaver and with Porritt. But the Big Reds control. Here's Taddy, slows it down, left foots it, and have an offside call. But the Big Red didn't touch it, so the ball's still in. Nope, they are going to call it. And so Bonick comes all the way up to just beyond the circle. It's Northern starting the press just a little bit. He serves it up to Simon, and now it's taken by the Big Red midfielders. Here's Seppo again, getting past the Husky defense. Seppo in, and Bonnet comes out and knocks it away, and then smothers the ball on a great play by the Northern keeper, Chad Bonnet. Devin knocks it down at midfield. Over to Spencer, but the Big Reds control. Here's Kovac, he spins. Stank sends it over to the other side, changes direction. Simon's knocked off the ball, no call. And it goes out of bounds off of Ramos. Nice little elbow to the hip on that one. Ramos sends it down. Aaron Smith takes it, knocked away by Cleaver. Sends it over to the other side. Harrington heads it up. But the Big Reds control. Here's Taddy, sends it deep into the in the far corner. Scooping up the loose ball. Here's Bonnet coming out again. And there's Seppo with the hat trick after Bonnet was beat. And so that's another goal for the Big Reds. The third of the game by Sam Seppo, and the Big Reds lead it 4-1. And for Seppo, that's his 16th tally of the season. And they're only 6 games in. He's having himself a great season. He already broke the Port Huron High scoring record last year. Got a feeling he's going to do it again this year.
Big Red goal, his third of the night, number 10, Sam Seppo. Assisted by number 7, Frank Hudson. Time of the goal, 11 minutes, 59 seconds.
Little break, another breakdown on the Husky defense leads to another Big Red goal. Cleaver chasing it out of bounds, Northern throw in. Simon gets it up over midfield, but the Big Red defense is there. There's Port, serves it deep for Zeller. Zeller is knocked away from off the play. The ball comes to the sideline, but kept in by the Big Reds. Port's tripped up, and we got a free kick for Northern here just outside the box. Devin Simon taking the kick for the Huskies. Simon serves it up, and it's headed away by the Big Red defense. Glenn controls. Gives it up to Seppo, slide tackle by Smith. Knocks it back into Big Red territory to Crawford, up to Harrington. Prout stops Harrington and kicks it back into Northern territory. And here's Glenn beating the Northern defense, then a nice save by Bonnet. Devin Simon controls the goal kick, knocked out of bounds by Hawkins. Northern ball, Northern throw in. Zeller heads it back into the middle of the field where Seppo takes control, gets past Stank. It's a breakaway for Seppo, but Bonnet comes out to cut down the angle and the ball goes out of bounds. So we have a corner kick, or a goal kick for the Huskies. Hawkins off. And Hagadon back in for the Big Reds. Aaron Smith gets the ball up to Harrington, being pressured by Kovac. Harrington gets the ball over to midfield, sends it down, but is knocked out of bounds by the Big Red defense, and a throw in for Northern. Mike Crawford leaves it in the middle of the field for Devin Simon. He left foots it. Keller stops it. Dribbles it once, brings it up to the top of the box, and punts it away. Glad you're joining us here on CPHS Channel 6. I'm Terry Harrington. Hope you're enjoying this broadcast of the Port Huron Northern Huskies and the Port Huron High Big Reds, a crosstown rivalry, a MAC crossover game. First of two between these two squads. Ball goes out of bounds, and it's a Northern throw-in.
Checking in for the Huskies, number 17, Trevor Hicks.
Trevor Hicks coming in for the Huskies, replacing Eric Harrington.
5, Todd Johnson, and number 14, Richard Jock.
Richard Jock and Todd Johnson in for the Big Reds. 6:30 left in the game. Had clock problems earlier. We're not sure if that's the official time, but we're pretty close. Actual game time's being kept on the field by the officials. Mike Spencer sends it over, but it's intercepted there by Hagedon. He sends it deep, knocked away by Smith, out of bounds, Big Red throw in. And we have a little push called on the Big Reds, so Northern gets a free kick. Husky faithful trying to cheer on their team right now. Northern down by 3. I think that's 7:38. There's a couple of light bulbs out of the scoreboard, so it's hard to tell on some of those round numbers. So it's 7:30 left in the contest. Mike Crawford chips it up to Cleaver. Goes off his chest, cleared away by Hagedon, and so Northern gets another throw in. Got a push called against the Big Reds, Ben Jones. So Northern gets a free kick here on the near side. Max Warner sets it up and boots it into the box where Keller dropped it momentarily but recovered, and he'll punt it away for Port Huron High. Trevor Hicks sends it into the middle of the box. Cleared away by Jones. Now here's Cleaver, left foots it, takes a look. Zeller spins, left foot off the top of the goal post. Top of the goal by Port. Bounces back to Seppo midfield. He sends it deep into Northern territory, chased down by Smith. He knocks it out of bounds. Oh, another great scoring opportunity for the Huskies. Port hit the top of the net. Bounced away. Big Red throw in. Off of a Big Red, now it's a Husky throw in. Big Red's control, Prout over in the middle of the field. Simon serves it up to Cleaver. He sends it down, but it's picked up by Jones. Knocked out of bounds, so Northern gets another throw in. Devin Simon, third-year starter for the Huskies, and he's only a junior on this team. Out of bounds, Northern throw in. Simon will pick it up, do it all over again. Warner has it knocked away. Cleaver gets it up to Werner. Got a little pushing and shoving. Max is called on the elbow. Port Huron High gets the free kick. Crawford kicks it up over to Spencer. Battling there with Hagedon, but the Huskies recover. Here's Cleaver. He sends it deep. There's Zeller being chased there with Kaburski, and Kaburski knocks it out of bounds. We got a Northern goal kick. Kaburski's arguing, but here's Northern. We got 4:15 left in the game. Huskies are trying to hustle.
Huskies number 7, Eric
Godinez is back into the game for the Huskies after serving his 10-minute penalty for the yellow card. Here's the corner kick, knocked away by the Big Red defense. Dylan Stank sends it back to the box, but the defense is there. Left foot by Godinez, just wide. Good play there, good scoring opportunity, but hooked just wide by Godinez, and so we have another Port Huron High goal kick. Simon turns around, knocked down by Jones. Godinez recovers, sends it back to Spencer, sends it deep for Zeller. Chase there, but it goes out of bounds. Zeller couldn't quite get there quick enough. Spencer led him just a little too much. On the throw in, Cleaver knocks it down. Godinez heads it up to Zeller. Jones is there, knocked away now by the Big Red defense out of bounds, and another Husky throw in. 2:30 left in the contest. 4-1, Port Huron High over the crosstown rivals, Port Huron Northern. Off to the throw-ins. Simon knocks it down, he turns. Sends it across to the other side. There's Zeller. Gets the ball, and now he decides to punt rather than throw it out. Big Reds have it. Going down the left sideline, but the Northern defense is there to knock it away. Johnson feeds it back. Sends it across, but headed away by Cleaver. Up to Godinez. Godinez now sends it to Zeller. Side judge says he's offside, but the referee is allowing play to continue. Now he calls it. And the Big Reds will take the free kick on the penalty. Big Reds taking their time, just letting the clock run down. Kuberski with it. Here's the free kick back into Northern territory. Headed up by Spencer to Godinez. Godinez turns, gives it to Crawford. Crawford sends it up to pour it, but over there is Hagen, or Hagen to knock it out of bounds, or make that Johnston to knock it out of bounds. A Big Red throw in. So we're in the final minute of the play here. 4-1, Port Huron High leading the Huskies. Big Reds control, knock it deep into Northern territory. Giving chase. 2-on-1, there's the shot by the Big Reds, but it went over the net by Seppo. And it'll be a goal kick for the Huskies. Hudson knocks it down. Huskies cleared away, Stank. Over to Spencer. Kicked away by Jones, and that should just about do it. And there's the signal by the referee that the game is over. And Port Huron High wins the match by a score of 4-1. 3 goals by Sam Seppo, a goal by Frank Hudson, and a goal by Northern's Mike Crawford account for the scoring tonight. And so the Big Reds win the first of 2 meetings between these 2 clubs by a score of 4-1. We hope you've enjoyed this broadcast on CPHS 6. Good night, everyone, with the final score once again, Port Huron High 4, Port Huron Northern Huskies 1.